Be blessed by the divine. On behalf of Sky Yoga Online English Meditation Group, I am Professor G.K. Bharati, welcoming you all to today's special program. Week after week, we are enjoying special lectures on Vethathiri from different professors. Today also, we are going to enjoy one such lecture. Yad bhavam tad bhavati. What you think, you become. That is a famous quote of Patanjali Mahan, the father of yoga. Destiny is thy own build-up. Thus said Swami Vivekananda. One's thoughts are the sculptor of one's own life. Thus said our Guru Vethathiri Maharishi. Dear friends, we different people have different ambitions in life. Some may want to have high education. Some may like to amass wealth. Some may like to tour all over the world. And some may like to build palatial buildings with the help of architects, renowned architects. But does this stop here? Once this desire, this ambition is achieved, we'll be going on increasing it. This becomes desire, and then this becomes greed and all, isn't it? Instead, if only we aspire to have a happy and peaceful life, whom we can approach? Who is the architect who will help us to have a peaceful life? Yes, today's topic is architect of life. And the speaker who is going to speak on this subject is Professor Kumaresan. Before handing over the mic, I would like to give a small introduction about Professor Kumaresan. Professor Kumaresan is into Sky Yoga for more than 30 years. He started learning Sky Yoga even when he was a college student at Tirupur, Tamil Nadu, India. He is instrumental in developing Sky Yoga in Canada. He is one of the members who has initiated it in the year 2007 itself. And again, his service has spread to Abu Dhabi and then now headquarters. He is also a member of the trust of the Temple of Consciousness at Alia. Very happy to welcome you, sir, Professor Kumaresan. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for the introduction. I'm currently situated in Qatar, Doha, Qatar. So that's a small correction. And good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I think you are spread across the world. So wherever you are, welcome to all of you. Today we will a little go in deeper of this, go in this topic, architect of our life. We will, go through slightly different. The questions as we start is, can we find the architect of our life? If we find that person or a thing, can we change it? Okay, now if we can change it, to what extent can we change? We'll try to answer these questions after taking through this maybe 20, 25, 30 minutes of our discussion. And to understand this, we need to know some basics, before asking this question. So we'll start some basic understanding, some basic things about thoughts, mind, genetic center. Then we will come back and question this. Go back to the question. So now let's understand what are thoughts. We all know we have thoughts, right? There's no doubt in it. Anybody who doesn't have thought is like either you're in a coma stage. Even in coma, they say that there's something going on in your brain, or we are dead if you don't have thoughts. So thoughts arise. Thoughts are always with us, and it's quite a lot with us, and that is what is running through our brains at all the point of time. And thoughts, when the mind, thoughts arise when the mind reckons in terms of volume, force, time, and distance, the incidents or objects that exist in the external world. This is too technical. If you want to go simple, thoughts are something which comes in our brain when we interact with this materialistic world. How do we interact to this materialistic world? Through our five senses. That's very clear. We have five senses, which is, by the touch, pressure, by the through skin, the taste by the mouth, smell by the nose, the light by the eyes, and sound by the ears. So we interact this world only through these five instruments what we have. So whenever we interact, we get something, and that is what is processed in our brain, which we call as thoughts. Not only this, we all have our old thoughts. For example, if I show you this phone, you will say, okay, this is an iPhone, right? How do you say this an iPhone? Is because you've already seen iPhone, that Apple symbol, which is in your past thought. You're bringing it in, comparing with the image which you just processed through your eyes, and comparing it and saying that, oh, this is an iPhone, right? So this is what happens. So the thoughts are basically what's happening in the brain, and they are present tense. Now, thoughts are basically what happens is it calibrates or compares. As a human being, we compare in the brain the time, distance, volume, and force, then save it across. For example, if I give you a mango, or if I give a dish to eat, a sweet dish to eat, you eat it and then you basically compare it. This is slightly sweeter than, or it is like the sweet we get in our part of the world. I can relate to this, or I can relate to what I have had it when I had a trip to say that part of the world. Oh, it tastes like that. So this is like basically you're doing a time, distance, volume, and force, and then saving it. You're clarifying, or what you call, you're taking the parameters and storing it accordingly in your system. Now, and thought waves are also frequencies. So thoughts produced at a particular frequency reflect as thoughts when the mind comes to the same frequency, right? So, for example, that is what we say, when we study things, when you're at a calm mind, in the exam, when we reproduce, we check to the kids, don't get panicked when looking at a question paper or something, because you cannot produce anything there because your frequency is slightly higher. So you just calm down yourself, and for a couple of minutes, then start writing. You'll be at a lower frequency and things will come correctly. Now, let's see an example for this, which happens in all our life. Imagine we are getting out of, and we forgot our some pen or an important pen or something. You want to take it. You were yesterday writing some notes, or as a student, you was writing some homework, or as an elderly person, we are writing some notes, and we wanted that to take back to our office. So now what happens is you're asking your wife, kids, where is my pen? Where did I keep it? Everybody says that, yes, we saw you writing it. We saw that, but we do not know where it is. Now, you are also clear. You didn't give it to anybody. You have kept it. You have forgotten it. Now, in all that, you searched the house. All the 4 people searched the house. Nothing happened. Now, you couldn't find that particular pen. You're gone to the office back. Then you are, after when there was a meeting which you were preparing, you completed your meeting, because that was creating anxiety within you. The meeting, you had a presentation, you completed the meeting. Then after that, you just had a cup of coffee and you are relaxed, and suddenly it comes to your mind, oh, we kept our pen in the cupboard that side, so that the younger kid or will not pick it up, because somebody will, so you kept it safe. Automatically it comes to you. Why? Because the frequency has now come down, because from morning you are a little up, and your anxiety, your emotions has taken the frequency up. So because of that, what happened was you are not able to understand where you get. When the frequency come down after a meeting was over, you're cool, you had a cup of coffee, then suddenly it strikes you. It's you who kept it in the cupboard that side to be safe. So when the thought, this is what's it, when the thoughts reflect back when the mind comes to the same frequency again. So again, genetic center. Let's understand what is genetic center. Genetic center is the center of a body, which is the center for biomagnetism, life energy particles, and vital fluid. And this is Muladhara chakra. This is the genetic center of a body. It also stores, the genetic center also stores all our thoughts, what we do. What does mind does is, again, genetic center also has all our imprints. Sanchita karma, which is for your past imprints, from hereditary, from what your parents. Prarabdha karma is what you have gained, and based on this, what you get regularly is the Akamiya karma imprints. Now, what you can call thoughts also is biomagnetism functioning through the cells of the brain gives rise to the mind. Now, the biomagnetism we all know that biomagnetism is what we spend through the five senses, and we gain when we sleep, we get energy, and we spend this biomagnetism. We saw very clearly in Kaya Kalpa class if you attended. If not, you will be learning it later. So this biomagnetism, which is in having, so the same biomagnetism functioning to the brain cells give rises to the mind. So now if you look at what are the functions of mind, function of mind is basically to whatever your thoughts you're getting through these five senses, storing it in the genetic center, and whenever you need it, take it and expand it through your brain and show it. So we'll take the same example. When he showed the phone, it looks at it, process it. Now, you have seen an iPhone earlier, so it brings from the genetic center and expands in the brain. Comparison is done, and the Apple symbol, okay, it's an iPhone. So this is what does. So the function of the mind is basically compress and to expand whenever we need it. So as we said earlier, impulse generated at a particular frequency reflects as thoughts when the mind comes to the same frequency once again. Now, how thoughts work? We need to understand how thoughts work. So now we said that expansion through the brain cells is thought. Now, because of thoughts, we have actions. We have only three actions in our life. As a human being, we have three actions. One is thoughts. The other is words, which we speak through. The other is deeds, which we through our five karmendriyas, with hand, leg, and mouth, etc. So we do actions. We do actions through this. Now these thoughts, words, and deeds are in a sequence. Because of the thoughts, words, and deeds, we have results, right? We have some results, good or bad, and the results goes in the imprints in our genetic center. And again, thoughts come. Imprints plus activation is equal to mind. And again, these thoughts come from these imprints. It's like a cycle. The imprints, thoughts come from the imprints. It's like a cycle. So if you look at it, you cannot say like, I would like to give an example how it comes is a person's action is always because of thoughts. Some people think, I can act accordingly. I can think something, but do something or talk something. That's called acting. But to a large extent, you cannot act in life. Try doing it, you will fail. So we need to change ourselves to have good action, good act. So that means the basic thought itself has to change. For example, let's randomly say I wanted to describe my friend in a word. We have we say helpfulness, laziness, or flexible, hardworking, sincere. So I'll pick up one word. Let's say helpfulness as one word. I'm describing one. So we are describing his personality as helpfulness because we, in a long period of time, by his various actions and words, we have seen him helpful. That means if I have to go somewhere, he said, do you have a pickup? Do you have a ride? Do you want to help me? Do you want me to drop in the airport? Do you want to help your son or something? If you are sick, do you want me to take to the doctor's office? These kind of multiple times, his words and actions has made him think, made us define him as helpful. Now, where does his words and action come? So he continuously checks on you. When you are sick, he says, have you got up? Is your son okay now? What is happening? You said somebody is not well in back home. Are they well now? You said, you're going to on vacation. When are you going? You need some help in that. These kind of words and actions of him comes from his thoughts. He needs to think, oh, Kumar is going this week. I need to check on him. He said last week he's not well, or his family is not, members is not well. So I need to check whether he needs help or he's fine now. So, so that comes in his thought. And that thought only makes him to speak words or do some actions. And those actions bring results, and the results are part of the imprint. And again, thoughts come from the same imprints. So this is a cycle. So we need to have our thoughts very clear so that words, deeds, results, imprints are all fine. So how does noble thoughts come? So noble thoughts do not harm oneself or the others are called noble thoughts that do not harm. So thoughts come to fruition provided by a strong and virtuous. So noble thoughts are one which doesn't harm anybody. That is called noble thoughts. Now, again, Total involvement and the will to perform leads to success, as one day says. This is from the Tirukural, from Tamil Tirukural, which has been translated. So our thoughts, again, coming back to thoughts, there are 10 stages in thoughts. We are learning more about thoughts. So because we need to understand our thoughts more to understand our actions and our deeds. So we have 10 stages of thoughts. The first 7 is for all living things. The last 3 is for only human beings. So let's understand one. Those are habits, which are sensation, need, effort, action, result, enjoyment, experience. Interpretation is research, realization, conclusion. Every thought ends in an action. Most of it ends in an action, right? Now let us understand the 7 stages through a simple example. We all, for example, now it's evening time, or based on your time, you're feeling a little hungry. That's the sensation we have because we didn't eat for the last 2-3 hours. Now the body needs energy. So this is a digestive cycle. There's a sensation in your stomach, which is called hunger. Now to fulfill the hunger, there's a need. So your mind thinks, what should I eat? What will I have for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, depending on the time of your day. Now you make an effort. Maybe if you're speaking, if you're listening to this one, after this, you intend to make an effort to eat something. So you move to your fridge or go to your home or go to a restaurant, get something and you eat, which is action. Then as a part of it, you get result. What is the result? Your hunger is gone and you get enjoyment. You enjoy your meal. Then based on that, you get an experience, good or bad. Now, these 7 habits are all part of all living things, be it an animal, bird, or everything. These 7 are there. But now human has mind. We do interpretation to it. We research, realize, and conclusion. Suppose I'm going for it in a restaurant to eat a particular item. I have had it last time, and this time also I'm having it, and I'm having a trouble in my stomach. My stomach gets upset. So I realized after 2-3 times that this particular item, if I eat particularly, there's something which doesn't suit my body condition. And I come to a conclusion, I will not this particular food in this restaurant. So that is what you had a conclusion. So every thoughts, all this, I'm just giving an example of a, eating need of hunger, but you can put any thoughts in your mind. It will be in one of these stages of the mind. So every thought always ends in an action. Now 10 stages, I've just listed it again. Now reason for the thoughts, we are given needs. There are 6 reasons why thoughts come. We saw the stage. Based on a thought, we can understand why it has come, what stage it is. Now, why thoughts come can be without thoughts. That's impossible. So we saw first itself that's impossible. Now, why thoughts come? There are 6 reasons Swamiji has clearly said about thoughts. One is because of needs, hunger, thirst, climatic changes, excretory forces. The second one is habits. For example, like morning first thing is reading a newspaper, having coffee. And third one is like circumstances. Like second one, I would like normally give a good one is habits. We all have a habit of snoozing the alarm, right? We all get up. I think very few people get up without snoozing an alarm. Your habit is to snooze it, right? Then the third one is circumstances. Favorable circumstances giving rise to good thoughts, unfavorable circumstances not giving good thoughts. Giving an example of circumstances, we are all here as a group because somebody has said something or we have heard something. They said this lecture is good, this group is good, we can do meditation, learn something about our Maharishi. That's good, but something of the negative, for example, I go to I'm not hungry now, I just had my lunch. I just pick up the car, cross a restaurant, and the restaurant, I know that if I have particular, I'm addicted to it. Now I just go there and start eating it. I am not hungry. There is no need. Just the circumstances that I'm crossing that restaurant has made me to go and eat the dish there. So that is purely circumstances. Definitely is going to give me bad. Now, influence of other thoughts is impact of advertisements. Like we end up buying things because we see the advertisements, 30% off, if you buy 2, 1 free. These kind of things influence us. We buy something without any need. A lot of bad things like smoking, or having a addiction to other stuffs is because of influence from other thoughts also. Hereditary, thoughts of the forebears passed on to the progeny. That is right from your forefathers. It has come. For example, my grandfather wanted to build a temple or build a school in that area because there is a school. Those thoughts now keep coming. Now in this particular time, I might get a thought out of the blue that if somebody comes saying that, oh, we are building a temple or we are bringing up a school, or we are upgrading the school and we need some funding, suddenly you will just from nowhere you write a check to them. That's because the thoughts are coming from hereditary. Then divine thoughts is to pertaining to social welfare. Many people around the world or in a region started thinking that somebody should come and guide us to do the good things. That's the way, many people have come in this world, like including Maharishi and all other saints have come into this world, that is to the divine thoughts. There's a collective thoughts from the society, and divinity chooses on one to entrust that, responsibility to do the social well-being and betterment of people. That come divine thoughts. So we need to understand these thoughts so that we always do good. We don't end up doing wrong. So now, so we need to go back to the slide. I'll go back to the slide. So you need to understand these thoughts, words, and deeds. Never think that with the thoughts and words and deeds are different. For every words we speak or every action we do, there's a thought embedded. There are only few actions in our life which do not have a thought, which are like instinctive, what we call impulsive reactions. For example, if somebody comes to hit you like this, we just move it back. Or if a fly comes and sits, we just hit it like this, right? So these couple of actions, these kind of few actions which are there to protect our life, protect our life, they're called impulsive actions. They do not have thoughts. But all other things, maybe consciously or subconsciously embedded in our mind, those thoughts are there. And that is where our word and action comes through us. So we need to understand that very clearly. And we saw 10 stages of mind, and we saw the 6 reasons why thoughts have come. Now, let's, so we saw all our actions and words are coming from our thoughts. Now, all the action and our personality itself is defined. I gave a clear example with a friend saying, flexible or a helpful person. We saw that a person's personality is based on his thoughts. You define a character of a person based on his thoughts. No, so if I have to be, now think the other ways. If I have to be good, I have to be polite to others. If I have to be helpful to others, if I have to be hardworking person, if I want to be sincere, all the so-called good habits, where do we change? So it's our actions, right? It's our actions and what we speak. Now, where does it come from? It's from our thoughts. So that is the reason, we need to keep our thoughts always good. For that, we need to have our surroundings also good. That is one, look, listen, and keep your surroundings good. Always be among good people, hear good things, talk good things. So that is the reason we say it is our thoughts which make us to be happy or not. It is our thoughts. So basically, the architect of our own life will be our thoughts. For example, you can say, okay, how can I be happy if something bad happens to me? Or somebody is making or inflicting pain on me? Now, if we learn more of meditation and introspection, we'll come to know a lot of things which are outside of our control. If somebody does something pains to us, it's based on cause and effect theory. And I have to undergo this pain because there is some sin imprints, so I need to clear it off. So only by going through pain, I need to get rid of this sin. So if you have that thought coming in your mind, definitely you will take any kind of situation. First, we will not do anything bad. Being good, thinking good, listening good, being in surroundings, we will not do anything bad. Number 2, if anybody does bad to us and we inflict pain on us, we'll happily accept it because of the cause and effect theory, and we accept it so that we are clearing ourselves and we are going near to God. So these are the things Swamiji has clearly understood this. That is why he has put auto suggestions of meditation. When your frequency is low, when we do say and do some lot of auto suggestions, what happens is those things starts coming into effect. So that is the reason we have auto suggestions of meditation. And how can we architect it? Now we said thoughts are the architect of our life. So how do we architect this? Always have be positive and be careful on what you ask, because fraction demands, totality supplies. So be always very clear what you ask. Then also, as we go down, you will learn more in subsequent classes about mind. We have the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. Subconscious mind is a slave. It doesn't know good or bad, but conscious mind knows good or bad. So we need to be very clear, what do we put in our, what do we take through our conscious mind, put in our subconscious mind. And this is again, Swamiji has very well done by programming our getting out to our subconscious mind is through meditation and a lot of introspection and auto suggestions of after meditation. So Swamiji has very well structured these things. Today, what the so-called modern, what they call the Western world, which talks about stress reliever, they talk about conscious mind, subconscious mind, yoga and stress relievers, stress busters. All these things basically comes in and helping your conscious mind and subconscious mind. And Swamiji, without explaining in depth, has clearly devised our system in such a way that we have physical exercises, then meditation to bring our mental frequency down, and then also we have auto suggestions and blessings after it. Then we have introspections for it, so that we clear our characters. Introspection is a beautiful tool where we understand ourselves, see what's good in us and lift them up, and also see what is bad in us and clear it and turn it and give a U-turn direction towards goodness. Analysis of thoughts is one of them, from which I picked up a few points and thought and brought it like who's the architect of our life. Then we have, a moralization of desires, then anger management, then eradication of worries. These topics help us change our thoughts. And that way we are always on the better side and the good side of it. And we will always be happy. Even if something bad comes to us, we'll accept it. Because based on the cost and effect theory, yes, I am bound to go through this pain. Let me see how can I come out of it. So that way we will be always be happy. So let's look about a few quotes from few people about thoughts. Thoughts must be realistic, noble and clear, the mind strong and devoid of fear. So there should be no fear, and thoughts should also be realistic and noble and clear. We will be having it, which is Bharati said. Then Maharishi, thoughts sculpt human lives. Or if I can put in a simple word, thoughts make a man. Thoughts are the power that help harness the forces of nature. So it is the thoughts which brings us to all of us. You think something, that is what, fraction demands, totality supplies. This divinity supplies to you. That's what Maharishi clearly said. Thoughts sculpt human lives. So it is who you are. You as a character, as a person, you are because of your own thoughts. So there are beautiful steps given in our meditation system, Sky Yoga system, to architect to help clear our thoughts, be on the right way, and also doing good. So we will be able to change our thoughts quite a lot, and also completely change our lives and be always happy and peace. Be blessed by the divine. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Indeed, a very wonderful explanation about the architect of life. Yes, as you said, thoughts are the architects. If only we have good thoughts, everything will be fine. Dear friends, now it is question and answer time. You can raise any questions on this topic to our Professor Kumaresan. He is ready to answer. You can also discuss any doubts you have. Please raise your hands. You will be unmuted. Who is going to raise first? Come on, dear friends. Let us discuss so that we can learn more about our thoughts, how to purify the thoughts. Sir has explained very well about how to make them positive and how to bring in nobility thoughts and all. Please do Yes, Sendil Kumar is there. Sendil Kumar?
Hello, hello. Valga
Yes.
Valamudan, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Valga
Valga
Valamudan.
Valamudan. You can raise your question.
Sorry, I just joined only partial meeting because I was driving, so I couldn't join. I just have a question for Sir. Is that a thought keeps coming, which I want to avoid, but I'm unable to avoid. Although I try my best to avoid some thoughts, it keeps coming back. Maybe it's because of imprints. But although we try to avoid, we couldn't avoid. Is there any kind of solution from Sir that we can formalize this?
Yeah. Again, going back to Maharishi teaching on analysis of thoughts, I'll just give I'll explain very shortly. There is a very good introspection courses on analysis of thoughts. So you first need to understand the root cause of the thought. Why is it coming? That's why he said there are 6 reasons why thoughts are coming, right? So now if you understand the roots of the cause, then look at, is this thought is good or bad to me? That's called analysis of thoughts. Is it going to give me good or bad? Now, when it is good, you can put pressure. The way you said it's a bad thought. You don't want that to come. So if that doesn't have to come, you understand why it's coming from. You will never get a clarity. Then this is giving me bad to me or others, right? We all have those two more, to understand what is good and bad. Any action, what we do, it can affect pain to yourself or others, now or later, physically or mentally is bad if it gives pain. So use this yardstick to understand if I action this thought, what I am, if it's bad. Now you understand the catastrophe it happens. Suppose it's a bad thought, it is going to affect you, your family, your relationship, or some monetary benefits will go down, or it will spoil somebody's character or somebody's one. Now, when you understand that, it will hit you that no, if I elevate this thought and bring it to an action, I am going to have so much problems. And because of the actions, I will get sin imprints. Maybe I'll have to go through pain, or my family has to go through pain, or my kids have to go through the pain because of my action. Now, once you make this thing, automatically what will happen is, next time when the thought comes, it will say that, no, I should not do this because it's going to harm. It's a bad thought because you have seen the consequences if you do it. So when you do this auto suggestion continuously, maybe after meditation or whenever the thought comes, you're aware that this thought is going to produce a bad result. Slowly you will find these thoughts go off. I'll give a classic example. Like I had a friend who had a craze for BMW car. Whenever he sees a BMW car, he will say, wow, what a beauty. One day I need to drive it. And whenever a new BMW car comes in, he will look at the price, he will look at the finances, all these details. Once, like he looked at it and said, really, if I buy, what will happen? Definitely, he has to pay, he has to pay a loan for it. It is going to affect his financial stability. And then nothing, it's just an act of driving it. He said, no, this is wrong. This is wrong. So next time, what he did was, maybe I will rent a car. He started renting a car for a week or a month. He drove it, he fulfilled his aspirations. Then from the next time onwards, whenever I see a BMW car, his result will come. No, this is bad for me. I've thought through this. So I'm not going to leave my thought go that route. I'm going to cut it off. Slowly you will find this thought will come, but it'll, in the bud, you will remove it because you are doing it by auto suggestion. And in the long-term time, automatically, when next time in a BMW car, it's like another car. You just look at it and while away. It will take some time. There's no on-off switch. It takes some time and practice for us to completely. You need to go through analysis of thoughts. There's a chart and very through introspection courses that will definitely help you a lot. Hope I answered your question and made some sense to it.
Thank you very much, sir. Very wonderful answer. Anyone else? Who is the next one? You can raise your hand. You will be unmuted.
There's nobody. So,
Maybe
I'll add a couple of points. You need to be very careful about your thoughts. When I say positive, I'll give a couple of more examples. I think we have time, right, madam?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
We have time, sir. 10 more minutes are there, sir.
So I put in a slide, be positive, and said, be careful what you ask. Again, we need to be very positive in asking what we want. I'll give a couple of classic examples and say, we all think that, I'll put a situation. We should think that, my legs should not break. Is it good or bad? We all will say, yeah, my legs should not break. That's a good thought. But if you look very closely in your thought pattern, you first think in your mind as if your leg was broken. You are going through a lot of pains. You need somebody's help. You're going to the doctor's office. You're bedridden for 1 week. Even to going to the washroom, you need help. To eat, somebody's help. Then you say, because of this, my leg should not break. This is basically a negative thought, because in the processing of your thought, you're processing your leg has broken, going through the brain, then saying so it is very, very careful what you ask. I will say another very common example I ask with it. I have never done with my child, and I always say, how many of us think that, oh, my child should be first in the class? According to me, that's not a beautiful thought, because you are basically putting the other kids in the class below your child. Indirectly, you are putting your child, other kids in your children's class to be below your child. That is wrong. That is wrong. You always think good should happen. My kid should be best in their studies. There are certain things. So we need to be very careful what we ask. For example, when we are looking for a job or something, I normally say, be very careful what you do in your auto suggestions. Don't say that current job is bad. I should get this job. Because our perception is low. Divinity has a big perception. Maybe ask, I need to get a better lifestyle and a better job. Or I need to get a better job, because let the divinity decide what's better to you. Because if you ask something, you may ask something low, but divinity would have something high for you, because it's like I'm standing down, or I'm in a one-story building. How much far I can see? I can see a kilometer. Divinity is there very up. He can see 10 kilometers ahead. He might give better choices to us. So always be very careful in what you're asking in auto suggestion. So that's why, the thought clarity should come. Like we say, I should have good health. I should have good work, or the current job is not that great you are having. So I should have a beautiful job where you will enjoy. Let divinity decide what job you will get. But he will definitely give what you want, because you want to enjoy your life. So that way, you need to be very careful in choosing your words and what we think, because what we think, so we become. So let's carefully, we need to, craft our thoughts. Maybe some people comments, there are around 10, 12 people. You guys can comment, it made some sense, or it's good, bad, or little gave clarity to you. Again, to all this, our meditation is very important. Do practice meditation very nicely, regularly. That creates a big change. Unknowingly, it creates a change. That's very important. Doing our exercise, Kaya Kalpam, meditation, introspection regularly will change you unknowingly. After 5 years, or suddenly somebody see you after some time, they'll say, I see a great change in you. What are you doing? What happened to you? That is very, very important. So focus on meditation and introspection. I would say regularly do meditation morning and evening. Even if you don't have time, 5 minutes, 2 minutes, if you're going in a public transport, you can just close your eyes. Don't miss the stop, but close your eyes. Or, those kind of things we can do. 5 minutes, 2 minutes, we will definitely get time. Try to do meditation regularly. You will see slowly there will be a remarkable change within you. Be blessed by the divine.
Yes, dear friends, this is an important topic, as Mr. Senthil Kumar has mentioned. So you can raise any questions on thoughts. Who's going to
Again,
come
meditation is very important. Hearing lectures, yes, there will be definitely bring us change. If the change is say 30%, by meditating regularly, the change will be 90%. There's a big change. Yes, you might say, no, sir, I don't have time. Many of the people I hear a lot of lectures, but I don't sit and meditate. I don't have time. But I listen lectures while driving. I put it in a YouTube. I can hear all. Yes, hearing will definitely, yes, it will change. Yes, it will change your thoughts. But putting that to practice and getting more benefits is doing meditation regularly. So I again suggest to all of you, make a point to do meditation regularly, so that we claim or we get more benefits, or we get the most of the benefits through our system. Yes, listening, definitely. Practice makes us perfect. Listening, yes, listening makes us good. But what makes us perfect is practice. Let's practice regularly by doing meditation so that we become a better selves and our family and everybody becomes better around us. Thank you.
Yes. Anyone is there? I think you are all satisfied and happy with the points our sir has given. It is, we all do Turiya meditation, isn't it? Before analyzing thoughts or whatever, before doing introspection. And you know how this Turiya meditation helps us. The pineal gland gets activated, all the brain cells, they just get activated and help us to have only good thoughts. Also the frequency level, this alpha yoga, this is called as alpha yoga, Turiya meditation or Sahasrara meditation. And this helps us to bring down the frequency, which in turn helps us to do wonders in our life. Our professor has explained well all these points. Do you have any other doubt, dear friends? Sir, shall we conclude, sir?
Yeah, sure, because it's also time, and I hope to meet you all again soon. Thank you all.
Yes,
Thanks.
sir, definitely, sir. It was really an excellent lecture on an important topic. And here, sir has explained very well. And there is one more friend. She has raised her hand. Kiranmayi Kesineni. Yes,
I
ma'am.
think no, he
Yes.
has actually put pranams, not raise the hand.
Oh,
like, you know, the folded hand symbol.
yes. And so it's only pronounced she has written. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyhow, I will just try to unmute. If she is interested, let her.
Yeah, sure.
Hello, Kiranmayi, ma'am.
You people have to be more talking. You can ask. You should be free in asking. Then only, you know, things will come out. There is no wrong questions. Answers might be wrong. There is no stupid questions. The answers might be stupid. So don't feel bad. Anything in your mind, ask.
Sir, just
anything in our subject, not only today's subject. Like we have been in the system for quite long. We will be able to answer with Maharishi's teachings. We will be able to at least put some value to whatever you ask.
Sir, I am unable to unmute Kiranmayi. Just try whether you will be able to, sir. Kiranmayi.
I had asked to unmute. Nowadays, you know, you can only ask to unmute. They have to unmute.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I think.
Yes, I have done it.
I've also done it. So not in.
Ma'am,
Okay.
Kiranmayi. Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Maybe it's also getting time. I think we close at 5 o'clock, right?
Yes,
sorry, 7:30.
6:30. Yes, 7:30.
Your time 7:30.
But however, we have got some grace time and all because of this interesting topic and interesting speech you have given.
No, I'm free.
It was very nice, sir. That's
it's only 5 p.m. It's only 5 p.m. for me. I'm 2 hours ahead of you.
Oh, 5 p.m. Okay, sir. Yeah. Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thanks. Thanks a lot
for your excellent speech. Thank you, dear friends. It is you who constituted this Smart Sky Club. Thank you all. And we have meditation daily, Monday to Sunday. And every Sunday we have special lectures on Vethathiri topics. And so please do participate. Morning 6 a.m. and evening 6:30 p.m. Indian Standard Time. We have meditation daily. And on Sundays, you have special lecture in the evenings. Please do participate in large numbers with your friends and relatives. Thank you so much. We will meet again. Be blessed by the divine. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Be blessed by the divine.